Okay, how are you?
I am good. How are you, girl? It's so good
Good.
to
I'm
see you.
so happy to talk to you. And
You
I feel like
too.
every time I schedule one of these, like it takes forever to actually get here.
I know. It's
So
like, all
it's
right, I'll
like,
talk to you in 3 months.
yeah,
Yeah,
so it's like
bye.
I've been thinking about it, thinking about it. And I was like, oh, now we finally get to actually talk. So it's always good. So
It's
it's so
so
nice to meet
exciting.
you. I'm
Yeah, you
Kim, and I'm so
too.
glad to meet you. So glad you're here. Thank you for coming on and talking.
Yeah, thank
Um,
you for doing this.
you've got a big, big book coming out soon.
I do. Yes. So,
How
yeah,
like
it's
crazy is it to be a part of this whole like universe?
oh my gosh, it's insane. And the other crazy thing is it's been in the works for so long.
Hmm.
Because actually, so I guess so everybody knows. So it's
Yeah, we're talking about Ravenhood. Sorry, I just
yeah,
was like yapping, and yeah, we're talking about the
just in
Ravenhood
case
series.
anybody doesn't
Yes.
know. Yeah, so the next Ravenhood book, Birds of a Feather, I get to co-narrate with Grayson Owens and a bunch of other really
It's a
amazing
huge
cast.
cast.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So it's like kind of a shift because it's really just been like the two
Hmm.
co-narrators up to this point. So I think it's going to be really cool. And I think, I mean, I think Kate is just like a genius and she just works like miles
Yes.
ahead of everything. So like she already knows down the line that yeah, all that stuff. So but yeah, so I think it was almost 2 years ago I got cast
Wow.
because actually Birds of a Feather was supposed to be, I don't want to speak for Kate. My understanding is like this, she might contradict this at some point, but my understanding is Birds of a Feather was actually supposed to be first, and then Severed Hearts was just going to be a novella.
Mm. A,
Anyone
a
who's read that,
novella
like,
it is not.
right? Like,
That's like 10 novellas.
exactly. So it was like we were going to do Birds of a Feather first, and then there was going to be a small little Tyler and Delphine book. And then I think, the Muse did what they do and all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I've known for a really long time, and obviously I couldn't talk about it. And this
Sure.
is the crazy thing. I had not read the Ravenhood books when I got cast. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
I know it's like
No, trust me.
crazy
I'll
to
tell
think
you a
about
story
it.
about that in a minute, but you go ahead.
Please. Yeah, no, it was just like I think I knew about them obviously, but
Sure.
then like when I actually got cast, I'm like, oh my God. So then I went back and like obviously read and listened to everything, and now I'm like so obsessed. And so it's just like
Yep.
become this like crazy thing that I can't even really like believe I get to be a part
Yeah.
of, and
And the
it's
the
amazing.
fandom, I mean the fandom around these books is just so huge, and there's
Yes.
so many people that are just in love with these characters, and I know that comes with a lot of pressure, but also it's such a
Yeah.
huge like great thing for your career to be a part of a book like this that's going to just be such a big deal. And that series is just such a beautiful series. I stopped after Exodus because I was like, I'm never going to make it through One Last Rainy
Hmm.
Day. I was like, I'll just be a puddle and it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And then I had a live with Rachel Dane, and she is a huge Ravenhood fan. And so
Nice.
that was like
Oh,
her
I didn't
like
know that. I
before
have
she
to talk
became
to
a
her
narrator.
about it.
Yes. So before she became a narrator, like her account was like basically a Ravenhood fan account. Like
Oh,
she was just
wow.
huge. And so she was
That's
like, "No, you
amazing.
have to read it. You have to read it." And I was just like, "I don't want to." So,
It's gonna
but
hurt.
I did, and it hurt, girl. It
I
hurt so
know. I
bad.
know.
It
Oh.
hurt so bad, but I did it,
Oh.
and I was like, "Okay, I did it for you, Rachel." And I had like, I took a video of me like crying and just like I was like, "This is all your fault." But
Yep.
yeah, so it is.
Yep.
They are such emotional books, but there's, I mean, like it's like you said, the story is just amazing.
It's so right, and it's so like her like world building is just so incredible, and you feel like you know these characters so well and all of
Yes.
that. So it's so impressive. And One Rainy Day was definitely, that was tough for sure. But I actually, Severed Hearts was more emotional for me. Like, just could not handle.
I think it's because Tyler is kind of like still this enigma a little bit. And so I
Mm,
think nobody really knew like how deep that story was going to go because it was
right?
just kind of he was a he was always a loved character, but he wasn't really like in the spotlight as much. And I don't think anybody was really ready for that.
Right. And like you sort of already knew, you knew already the end of that story.
Mm-hmm.
So like I didn't expect to get as invested in it because
Mm-hmm.
there's not a happy
Yeah.
ending. And
Yeah.
but yeah, and I am such a Tyler girly. I mean, now obviously
Mm-hmm.
having because
And
we're done
Grayson
recording, so
doesn't
it's.
hurt that either.
I
Grayson
mean,
doesn't hurt that
right.
either. Yeah. Yeah.
He's
He's not good or
so phenomenal.
anything.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, right? Like what a struggle to have to listen
Yeah,
to
I know.
24 hours of
Such a
Grayson
tough
Waller.
co-star to
Oh,
have.
I know, right? Yeah,
You
such
know,
a delightful guy too. He's so
he
sweet
really
and
is.
like such a great, like just totally dedicated, like shows up,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
really, really like commits and does the work and everything, which I so appreciate. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited for people to finally get to read it and get to
Yeah.
listen. And yes, going back to what you said about the pressure, like I definitely feel that. I am so cognizant and like I'm sure not everybody's going to be happy, and that is fine. I've made my peace with
Okay.
that. Kate is happy with it, so like that to me is
That's
like
what matters.
that, I'm fine. But like I get it. That's the thing is like I am also a fangirl of this and of so many other things, and like I understand that like deep abiding love that people have for
Yeah.
books. So like I get it, and
And
I
as long as they
so
keep it to
appreciate the
themselves,
fans.
they can not like it all they want.
I mean, just don't tag me, I guess, if
Yeah,
it's like the thing,
just
right?
just
Just
don't
don't.
tell me, okay? That's all I'm asking.
You can, text your friends, send all the
Have at
screenshots
it.
or the, memes you want, but
Yeah.
yeah, just don't tag me. It's
Just leave
okay.
me out of it, okay? That would be
I'm
great.
okay. I'm okay if I don't know that you hate me. That's all
Yeah.
right.
That'd be great. I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
but
I
yeah,
know. It's a crazy world out there. So,
yeah.
when we'll go we kind of started at the end of that story, so
Oh
we'll go
boy.
back a little bit to the beginning because I was just really excited that, I know this is such going to be such a big thing for you, and I'm just really excited for you.
Me too. I'm also so excited. There have been a few people that I've been like DMing with about like, and obviously I'm not like sharing anything, but like once it comes out, I want to talk, like, I just want to talk about it. Like,
Yeah,
have me back. We'll talk about like,
definitely.
I will love to talk about all the
Yeah.
Tyler and Larissa goodness and,
Hmm. And
heartbreak
how
and all
long
that
have you
too.
been holding it in? I mean, like, when did
So
you
long. I'm
record?
dying, Kim. I'm
Yeah.
dying. When did we record? Just December, but we got it a little bit. It's so long. We had it, so I probably since like November
Yeah.
I've known. So,
It's a
but
long
by
time.
May, I mean, yeah, that's gonna be like 7 months. So long. So
Too long.
anyway, so yes, anybody who wants to talk birds of a feather with me, please
We'll
feel
talk.
free. Yes, once that comes out, I'm dying to talk about
Yeah.
it.
I think it's going to be great. So I did check out your Audible, and I did
Yeah.
actually listen to. I'm on the second book. I'm almost done. I'm like 30 minutes away from being done with the second book of the Cinderheart series.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's
So I was
tell
just
me.
kind of going through, like, looking for something that I could listen to, and it kind of spoke to me. Boy, that
That's
is
a
a
rough
rough
one.
one.
I was gonna say you
Wow.
dove right into one of the
Wow.
really
Okay.
dark ones. Mm-hmm.
I'm a dark girly. I'm a
Okay.
white shoes girly. I'm a bully girly, but wow. Like, even like, wow.
So that's is that Benjamin? Who's the co-narrator? Is it
Benjamin
Benjamin
Sands.
Sands? Okay.
Yes.
So we did those books, and then we met like sometime later in person, and we were like, "Oh my God, those books!" Like I think
Did
we
he
both maybe.
apologize to you?
No, but he told me that some of those scenes were like hard for him to get through, and I was like, "Yeah,
There
totally."
are for me.
That one's really rough. And Bully is like I like to narrate Bully, but I don't necessarily listen to a ton of Bully, so
Hmm.
I'm always a little bit sort of like taken aback when I
Hmm.
read. I mean, I do a ton of like dark stuff, but like Bully for me is a little
Bullies. It's a whole nother
hard
world,
sometimes.
and
Yeah.
like, because it feels like sometimes with bully romances, that even though they always, turn out it's romance, obviously, so it's always going to turn out one way, but you never feel like they really get their revenge, to me, in Bully. You know what I
I
mean?
agree. I think that like
I just feel like it's never enough.
yeah, they don't grovel enough. That's one of
No.
my, it's always sort of like you might get like one apology or something, but like there's not enough. I want to see them fucking like
Yeah.
throw
I mean,
themselves on the
the
altar of
things they
whatever,
are like, I'm
right?
not
Like,
done yet, but the things they are doing to this girl is
yeah,
crazy. And I'm
that
like,
one is
it,
tough.
the feminist in me is crying this whole book.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
awful.
You
But
definitely you ended up going right to one of the really, really rough ones for
I really
sure.
was, I mean, because like I've read a ton of these, and there's one that I really compare it to, which is like, I don't know if you've ever read Clarissa Wilde series, the Sick Boys series.
Oh, I've read Closer Wild, but I don't think I've read that one or
So
that series.
it's very like, there's a lot of similarities, and that one's super like bully too, and so
Mm-hmm.
it's that's this reminds me of that a lot. And I was the same way when I read those. I was like, whew, okay, like, wow,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, I'm plowing through it. I mean, I think it's an interesting story for sure. Like, I haven't even gotten to the like mystery. I know there's going to be some real mystery coming out in a minute. So,
Yeah, there's some good intrigue in that one. There's definitely, I felt like the twists were really well done in that
mhm,
one. You know, like you definitely, there is more to know.
mhm,
And like it's one of those where like it's almost kind of hard as the female main character, obviously like voicing the female main character, like she doesn't know. And so that I when I read, I'm like, well, I want to know, and I'll like, try and like, and so it's hard to be kind of be in that role. I feel like
mhm,
kind of like Cecilia in like the original, like she just doesn't, there's so much going on and she
yeah,
doesn't know any of it. And like there's a bit of like, real kind of like frustration and rage and anger that you can kind of tap into a little bit with all of
yeah,
that. But it's hard. Same thing. I like I'm so much like, woman girl power. Like I want my
yeah,
female characters to like kick ass
yeah,
and take
yeah,
names, and it's like that's a kind of
yeah.
a tough one sometimes to
It's
like
tough.
get into
It's
that
tough, but I
mindset.
mean, I'm enjoying it. I just, wow, like sometimes I'm just like, I really want her to like get back, you know?
She needs to kick somebody's ass. I
Yes,
know. I
yeah.
know.
It's
I
like
feel that way
she
too.
starts and then she comes back, and I'm just like, no, keep going, you know?
Right? Yeah.
So,
She gets
anyway,
there in the end,
yeah,
obviously
I'm
that's the
ready.
whole kind of like
I know I'll
thing.
get
But
there eventually, but it's tough right now. So yeah, I'm
mm-hmm.
slogging along.
All right. Let me know when
I,
you
but
finish,
but
if you make it to
you
the
are
end.
but you are phenomenal. You and
Oh,
Benjamin are
thank you.
both phenomenal, and I love the way your voices go together. You have done a really good job with her being vulnerable, but still being that kind of tough nut to crack a
Mm,
little bit, you know?
yeah.
And I love that. So that's like
Oh,
my
thank
favorite kind
you.
of girl, you know? So
Yes.
I love Nim. I love her like as a
Yeah.
person. And I just want her to beat the shit out of somebody, basically.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Yeah.
I feel you. I wanted that too while I was recording it,
I
if that
bet you
helps.
did. I bet you did. I bet you
hmm
did.
hmm
So when I was looking at your catalog, the first one I saw was like in 2020. Is that right?
Yeah, that is right. So that's when I got started right before the pandemic, when all of the out of work actors in the whole country were like, I'm going to try audiobook narration.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Hmm.
well, this was the worst timing ever.
Yeah,
But
we
yeah,
always
so
have the before COVID and the after COVID
hmm
narrators. So you're slightly before
barely, like,
COVID.
yeah, I think I started auditioning in like January of 2020, I think, and like
Hmm.
booked my first kind of thing. And then I did take a year off when I had my youngest in 2021. So I've got a bit of a gap too.
Hmm.
So haven't been like fully full speed ahead since then. But yeah, since 2020, which is crazy. So like 6 years now,
So
which is wild.
over 110 books in, well, 6 years. Yeah, 6 years, 1 year off.
5-ish
So
years probably, yeah,
yeah,
about that.
that's a good pace for
Yeah,
sure. You've been cranking
yeah,
them out. Yeah,
yeah.
you've been cranking
Trying.
them out.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're busy? Like you feel like you're fully booked, or do you feel like you could do more, or where do you feel like you
At
fall?
this point, yeah. So I was actually still part-time until September. So
Hmm.
so that was I still had a day job until just about like 6 months ago or so.
Congrats.
So Thanks.
That's
Yeah,
that's a big step. That's a big deal. When you go full
it was a
time,
big
that's a big deal.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was not, I actually got laid off, so it was a bit of a like not the
Forced.
moment I would have chosen, but like has actually turned out to be, from a very like stressful situation. I had really good health insurance through my job that my whole family was on. So like there was
Mm,
some stress,
yeah.
but I think it was definitely the universe kind of being like, all right, now you need to, like nudge, nudge, kick you
Hmm.
in the pants. Like now you
Sometimes
need
you
to go
just need
out
to
and do this
push off
thing.
the cliff. Yeah.
And I never would have done it. I'm such a like risk averse person. The idea
Yeah.
of this sort of freelance career and doing that, being dependent on like always having to like hustle and get work and all that is very was very scary. But it's actually been going really well. So yeah, at this point, things have been very steady. And I mean, knock
Good.
on
Yeah.
everything. I
Knock
we
on
don't have any wood
foam.
in here, but
Knock
knock
on
on
foam.
right, knock on something. Yeah, hopefully it continues. I luckily this year I'm really lucky and have gotten to be a part of a couple like more higher profile like projects and stuff. So that hopefully will just kind of keep
Yeah.
growing and growing. And
Yeah. Birds of
yeah,
a feather is not going to hurt. That's for
I
sure.
know, right? That is gonna be
Going to be
awesome.
great.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I think an alchemy just came out, and that really kind of like was a big.
Yes. I haven't
People
gotten to
went,
that one yet, but I've heard so
oh,
many
you
good
should
things about that one.
maybe bump that
Uh-huh.
one
Move
up
it up. Yeah.
your TBL a
Hmm.
little bit. I think you will. I think you
I've
will
heard
love that
so
one.
many good things about that one. Um, yeah, and I love James Cassidy too. So he's
So good in it.
yeah, so
Yes,
good.
he's so
Yeah.
good. Yeah. So
So
yeah.
what made you want to do this? Were you an audiobook listener? Were you a bookish person? What happened?
Yes to all of the above. So it's so funny. I just did SJ Tilly is doing the re-release of all her oh thanks Lexi. The Alliance books are all getting re-released traditionally. So I popped into one of her book clubs this week. So I was just talking about this. So sorry if anybody has to hear this twice in a row, but I have read romance. I've been a romance reader since I was way too young. I was literally like 10 or 11 when I started
Mhm.
reading like full on adult romance.
Ooh,
And
go girl.
yeah, and I maintain, I said this again, I'm going to say it again. I get on my soapbox. I truly believe that reading romance was like the best sex education that I could have had. I mean, I knew like,
Preach.
I got the birds and the bees and whatever. So I knew, but like,
Mhm.
right, think about like romance is all about, communication, relationship building, making compromises, like figuring out how to work
Mhm.
through problems. It centers female pleasure. This was the
Mhm.
80s or 90s, so the consent piece was maybe not quite as much there, but like now there's
True.
so much more about consent, right? And like
Mhm.
understanding like safe boundaries and all that stuff. And I'm so convinced that like it just gave me such a healthy, positive, like sex positive outlook. So anyway, so I've been a reader like since I was young, and was forever and ever and ever. And I also have a theater background, so I have an undergrad degree in theater, and was working for many years as like a teaching artist and doing work with young people. And so yeah, so like in kind of late 2019, I came across this article about how you could narrate audiobooks from home, and I was like, could I get paid to read the books that I already like want to read? Is that a
Right?
job that I could have? What is this like magic that I'm like learning about? So I just kind of, and I had been listening to audiobooks for a long time at that point, romance specifically. So like I became a narrator to narrate romance audiobooks. Like that is what I wanted to do. It is still like 90 to 95% of my work. And I
Mhm.
now this is like my real job. I get to like
Living the
get paid
dream.
to like read the books that I want to read and then like speak them into a microphone. And it's like, yeah, it's pretty
I
amazing.
love that. I love it when I see people that are like doing what they love and like it's like their calling and their passion and it's like really what you wanted to do. Like so few
Yeah,
people really get to do what they want to do as their job and as
so
the
true.
thing that supports their family and that kind of stuff. So I think that's great. I love it when people are able to do that. So good
Yeah,
thing.
it's been pretty awesome. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it
Yeah.
is also hard. I don't want to like
Oh, for
downplay
sure.
like
No, it's
how
hard work. Yeah.
hard it is, but like, yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Not
I
gonna
mean it's
lie.
hard
So
work. Everything's hard work. I mean your work
right,
it's
everything
a
is hard
it's a
work.
craft. You have to learn it, you have to train it, you have to, practice and all those things. So, it's just like everything else.
Yeah.
So, what was your job that you were doing before you started doing this full time?
Yeah, so I was working in theater, like theater education, theater administration, for many, many years, and then was working for a different sort of nonprofit, but also still in like
Hmm.
the arts, storytelling, humanities world as well.
That.
So yeah, so I spent like over 20 years working in the nonprofit, arts and humanities, basically administration as a teaching artist, doing theater and stuff like that. So very related. It was not like a
Hmm.
huge, like still filled with lots of creatives and,
Hmm.
still very focused on like stories and connection and empathy and all that stuff that I think like ties so much into this work too. So
Yeah,
so yeah,
love that.
it's yeah, very, very
I
related.
love that.
Yeah.
So how do you prep your books?
Hey Stephanie. Sorry, I have the chat up. I just am like
No,
seeing
I do
people as they
too.
come in.
I waved it. I waved at Stephanie too. She's a good. I talk to her all the time. So.
I am a big I mostly still do like full on like in the manuscript I'm like highlighting different characters. I'm, making my list of character names and sort of descriptions and all that,
Hmm.
and questions, pronunciations. I still jot some notes, in the margin. So
Hmm.
there's like an important emotional beat that I want to catch or things like that. Um, for some things where it's like it's a series and it's like number two or three
Hmm.
or four, maybe it's not quite as, it might just be like a read through and like make a note of any like questions or new prints.
Sure.
So like kind of depends how familiar I am with the material or the characters or things like that. But
Yeah.
kind of like I said, like I do this because I want to read these books. So like
Right.
I read these,
Read the
for
books.
me,
Yeah.
like reading the books is really the fun part of,
Hmm.
and the other fun part in addition to getting to like say them out loud. So yeah, I'm still a pretty deep, like meticulous prepper, and like, try to think about the sort of big picture. What's the arc for these characters? Where do they start
Hmm.
versus where do they end? And like, what are the really important beats either in like the relationship development or the character development or, things like that, and kind of try and like, again, I have a theater background, so I'm always kind of thinking like story arc and all that stuff. But,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
yeah, I spend a lot of time on prep. I maybe should spend less, but again, like I
I
get
mean,
to read these amazing books. Like, why wouldn't I want to like read them? So,
if you're meeting your
yeah.
deadlines and you're getting enough work, I mean, who's to say how you should and shouldn't do things? I mean, that's
Thank
your
you, Kim.
process.
I
I
appreciate
mean,
that. Thank you for validating
I
me.
think everyone's process is valid as long as you keep making books for me to listen to. You do what you have to do.
I appreciate that. I'm going to tell my husband that when he's like, "Why are you working at 11 o'clock at night and blah blah blah?" But whatever,
Yeah,
he doesn't
I
know.
know. Yeah, I know. That's the downside. But, obviously, and also it's just to make you feel better about the fact that you're about to do something. You have to
Right.
feel comfortable that you've prepped enough. Even though you may not really need it, it makes you feel like you've done everything you can to get ready. So that's just as
Totally.
important as sometimes
I
being
don't,
ready.
yeah, that anxiety if you start, like, I know there are
Yes.
narrators who like don't, pre-read and they like, or hire other prep and stuff. And it's like, I would be so anxious, I think. Like, it's
Mhm.
for my own sanity that I kind of really
I don't
dive
think I
deep.
could rely on someone else to do that for me. Like,
Yes, totally.
because I just
Totally agree.
interpret things differently a lot than other people a lot of times. And so I think I would just be like, how do I know that you think the way I think about that? Like,
Right. Or you characterize this character as this way,
yeah.
but like I get
Mm.
into it and I'm like, oh, wait, I don't think that's right. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
totally agree.
I mean,
Yeah,
maybe I could, over time, you could develop a relationship with someone, like if you knew that
that's
they
a
had
good
the
point.
same,
Yeah.
but still, it'd be rocky for a minute.
I don't, maybe I'm too much of a control freak. I guess maybe that's what it
Could
is.
be. That could be me too. I don't,
Maybe we have this in common.
we're
We
not
don't
in
trust other,
therapy,
we can't
Chloe. We're not
delegate.
in therapy.
I'm sure my therapist could tell me, but
Yeah,
yes, I
exactly.
know it's a
Exactly.
little bit of an issue
I
maybe.
mean, yeah, maybe, whatever.
But it's fun.
It's fine. So
Oh.
when you decide, I mean, I don't know if you ever really feel like you need to say no to a project, but when you decide to do a project, are there things that really draw you in or make you want to do something,
Mm.
like tropes or, settings or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. Yes, there are definitely things that make me sort of more interested. And mostly I would say, sort of around the female main characters, like development. Like, is
Mm-hmm.
she I kind of like I'm more drawn to books where like she's sort of the main, like the love interest is important, but like it's really she's the kind of like central main, even if it's sort of split 50-50 or whatever, is her the characterization. Hey Lacey,
Hey, Lacey.
yay! Like is her journey the really juicy one? Like,
Yeah.
is she the one who's like really changing and growing and like learning about herself, or that kind of a thing? Like that is
Mm-hmm.
really intriguing to me. I fucking love like a kick-ass female main
Yes.
character who's like
Yes.
sarcastic or badass,
Mm-hmm.
or like
Mm-hmm.
I just did one where she was the serial killer and I was like, this is amazing. Like the feminine rage. This is
Yeah.
All Fair in Love
We
and
love
Chaos
it.
by Jen Plummer. Like the feminine rage that
Love
character
that.
had, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
felt deep in my soul.
Yeah.
So like that's always amazing. But like tropes, I'm like tropes can kind of I can do kind of whatever. Like I really want to do more rom-com. I do like so much dark stuff and I've
So
gotten go
everyone
ahead.
is telling me that. Everyone is like,
Yeah.
I want to do more rom-com. And I love that because I want to read more
That's funny.
rom-com. So
We
I want
all
all
could
my
use a
favorite people
little
to do
bit
more
of like,
rom-coms.
right? We could all use a little rom-com in our life right
Hmm.
now, perhaps. I don't know,
I
but
am currently chomping at the bit for Lexi's new book. So I'm ready for that one to come
ooh,
out. Yeah. So I don't know
yay.
if she's still in here or not, but so,
Yes.
okay, here's my question. So,
Yeah.
how do you gather that information before you've read the
Mm.
book?
So that's a great question. And I also, yeah, I want to also kind of make something clear in a second. But like, we often don't get the whole like sometimes the manuscript is, oh, there's Lexi.
Yeah.
The whole thing is there. And you can kind of like peruse a little
Scan it.
bit. And, like, obviously, you don't like everything that comes through, you don't necessarily have the time to like sit and read,
Right.
before you even like get an offer or role or whatever.
Right.
So you can kind of sometimes some publishers are really great about having like plot synopsis, character
That's good.
breakdown, trigger and content warnings from the author, all of that stuff, accents, that's a really important
Good.
one.
Yeah.
Um, and all of that. So sometimes you have all that information and sometimes you don't. So I also, because I know the AI thing is coming up so much, and like narrators, I think en masse are very anti AI. But I saw some posts last week, I think it was on Threads, not on Instagram, where people were like, narrators speaking out against AI and then doing books that are like clearly written by AI is like just like greedy or just whatever. And I was like, we don't know. Like a lot of the things that we take on, we have
And
no
there is
idea.
no clearly written by AI
Also, that,
either.
right? Like,
Let's just throw that out there
let's not witch hunt
because
anybody. Like,
exactly,
like
exactly.
you might think, but like we might think, but we don't know. And
We
if we're
don't know.
already contracted to do a book and we like start, prepping or start recording, we can't stop, go to a
No.
publisher and be like, can you ask this author if they use
Is this
AI? Because if
AI? Yeah.
so, I can't, and it's like, and I just, so if anybody watches, like, give narrators a little grace. Like, we are doing
Yeah.
the best we can with the limited information
So
that we get.
there is no, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. That concept in and of itself is completely contradictory to the concept of AI. Clearly, AI does not exist because if it was clearly AI, then it wouldn't be AI.
Right.
So let's
And
just like throw that
who's the
out there.
judge, right? Like,
Yeah.
I certainly haven't been trained on like how to
No.
spot AI.
And
Nobody
you
has. We're
shouldn't have
just
to.
like making a
You're not
guess, right?
you're not a publisher. You're
Exactly.
just
Like, also, it's is that my responsibility or is that the
no.
publishers to like,
It
do a
is.
little due diligence and like ask some questions maybe, but also like, yeah, let's recognize that AI is built on stolen work. So like AI
How
is
do you
gonna
know?
sound like, anyway, it's a whole crazy thing,
I
but
think that whole again, it's the social media quest for a hot take.
so much so,
And
yeah.
I want to be the first person to call this out, or I want to get attention from, and if you have to get attention by stepping on other people, then you
You, then it's
know
about them, right? Like,
that's
yes, I
yeah, exactly.
totally
So it's
agree.
just like I
Everybody's got to have the hot take. Like, everyone's got to.
the hot take culture is what all the negativity in this space comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone trying to get noticed, everyone trying to be the person who says something first is where all the negativity in this community
Yep.
comes from.
You're totally
And
right.
there's enough room in this community for everyone. No one has to, you don't have to be the person that's first. I mean, just do you and people will notice you.
Right.
Like,
And you don't have to shit on other people too.
no,
Like,
you
just
don't.
like, again, if you think that, text it to your friends, like, whatever.
Exactly. Y'all, that's
Fucking,
an
it's fucking
inside
internet.
conversation, not an outside conversation.
This is like what I tell my kids. There are some thoughts that just should stay inside thoughts.
Exactly.
We don't have to say
Exactly.
everything.
That's right, Lacey. And
Like,
that's, I was going to
be
say,
for
to prove
everyone.
my point that, Lacey and a couple of us, girls, like we are constantly in each other's lives. We're supporting each other. There is absolutely no reason why we can't do that. And I would never do anything to harm her. And I know she would never do the same to me. And it's just silly. It's just, I
Yeah.
don't know. I hate, that's the thing that I don't like about this kind of stuff. But I feel like we've kind of created a space where it is, and I think because it is female dominated, that's part of the reason why it does turn out to be better than most communities,
Mm-hmm.
because we do kind of tend to support each other a little bit more and build each other up rather than trying to, pull each other down. So
It's so true. And I think that's really very similar in the sort of female narrator community as well. Like, it's
I
very
agree.
much like we are colleagues, we are not like competition,
Yep.
like, sure, like somebody's going to get a job and that means you didn't get that job, but there are literally thousands of jobs. And just
So
because you
many
didn't get that
books.
job doesn't mean that you're not going to get, a different job kind of a thing. And like,
So many books.
yeah, there's no, yeah, I agree. And I think that en masse women are so amazing and supportive and like, generous with each other. And like
Yep.
every now and then you get like the bad actors and stuff, but like that's part of what I love about romance is like this is a genre mostly created by women
Mm-hmm.
for mostly women,
Forward. Yeah.
like, and it's the fucking like most profitable genre out there.
So
It's
put some
supporting.
respect on her name.
Right? Like this romance literally like supports fucking like I don't know, lit fic and
The
poetry.
book
Not that there's anything
industry?
wrong with like poetry or lit fic, but like don't shit on this genre that like clearly, is what people want to read. So
Can
yeah,
we
I'm
can
sorry, I'm
we
getting on
talk
my
about
soapbox
the,
again.
it's probably the reason why there's even any brick and mortar bookstores to begin with anymore. I mean,
Yeah,
romance
right?
and fantasy. That's it.
That
Like,
is what people want to read.
that's what they
Like,
want to read, and that's the reason why they're going to the store to buy a book.
hmm
I
I mean,
mean,
I will always say, like, it's misogyny, it's all misogyny that people are looking down on
100%.
because it's a romance, it's because it's a woman dominated,
Mm.
genre. And
Then it's
like, I
silly.
just, right. Because, and it's been that way forever too. I mean, think about like how people treat like teenage girls who, even just the term like fangirl is like pejorative, right? It has to be like
Mm-hmm.
whatever girls or women like is,
Amen.
somehow like, we have to look
Less
down on
than.
it. And it,
Yeah.
right, makes
Yeah.
me crazy. Sorry, we
Girl,
I
we
got me
could
all
go
riled
on
up
all day.
again.
I could go on all day.
We need to go get some wine and keep talking about this.
That is my soapbox, and I will stand on it all day long, and
Same,
you will get
yes.
tired of me.
No, I love it. I love it.
But yeah, I agree, and I honestly I feel that way about the narrator community in general. Even the male narrators, almost most of them are very feminist, very
Mm-hmm.
and do present at least a united front with the female narrators, and
Yeah.
and present that they want them to be treated equally and that kind of stuff. I don't, like I said, behind closed doors I don't know what anybody does, but at least in the public, and that's almost as important, just
Yeah.
to even put that face out there to people and say, hey, I support this, and I think that this is the right way to deal with things. I can't ask,
Mm-hmm.
you can't ask for much more than that. So
Funny, a little, I mean, yes, I will say almost all male narrators I work with are lovely, lovely. But, speaking of Benjamin Sands, who we
mm-hmm.
were just talking about, he actually, talking about actually putting your money literally where your mouth is, when he works with like indie projects, he
Mm-hmm.
actually says that he and the female co-narrator have to make the same amount of money. So like he like pulls it like transparency, makes it a point.
I
We
knew
didn't
I
do an
liked
indie
that
project
guy.
together, right? Like that,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, that's the standard. That's what all male narrators should
Yeah.
be doing. Because
Yeah.
yes,
Put
many
your
of
money where
them
your mouth is. Yeah.
in public will post, yeah, equality, but like, are you following through with that behind closed doors? I hope
Yes,
so.
exactly. Yeah, I mean that's again,
Hmm.
yeah, that is very important. And
So
and
be like Benjamin.
I think that we do. I think that trend is trending that way. I think it, maybe it's pressure from, the community, but still as long as you're doing it, what
I don't
for
care
whatever
why.
reason. Yeah, I don't care why, just do it,
I don't care why. Just
Yeah.
do it,
I don't
right?
care what your
Yeah.
motivation is, but
Hmm.
so are there any characters that you have played that you just really identify with, as a person?
Oh man. Probably a lot. Let's see.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, so one I would say uh so this one, so Of Ink and Alchemy, the one that just the new Slow and St. James that just came out, I really identified with Kelly a lot. Just for just kind of where she was in life. Like she was feeling a lot of grief over her father, and I lost my mother-in-law a couple of years ago, and like
Mm-hmm.
feeling like she's in this artistic field and she's got a little bit of like imposter syndrome and like a lot of things, but she's also like sarcastic and take no shit and all of that, all the things I want to be. And the other one that comes to mind is I mentioned SJ Tilly in the Alliance series. Val in Dom is one of my
Yeah.
all-time favorite
I love
female
that series.
characters. Oh my
Yeah.
God, me too. It's so good. And she was so, I was just talking about, this is very fresh because I was just talking about it at the book club, but like, she's so hurt. Like, she's a very hurt person because she experienced a lot of trauma and she didn't have a
Hmm.
good mom. She had a very bad mom. And like, all those men are obviously like walking red flags. And like in real life, you would never ever
Right.
tell your friends to like date or marry them or whatever. But
Obviously.
Dom does all of this very questionable stuff to her, and she doesn't take it. She calls him out on it, but she forgives him, and she like opens herself up to love. And she's really like, she's so strong in a really
Yeah.
understated way. And like,
Yeah.
yeah, I love Val so
I
much, and
love
she's
that.
funny,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
really fun to get to do too.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that. So, what do you have any hobbies that you do outside of
Oh gosh, I need more
narrating?
hobbies.
You need more hobbies.
I need
You
more
work too hard.
hobbies. I mean, I stay pretty busy at this point. So I do have two young kids, so a lot of my time
That's your
is
hobby.
yeah, I have an 8 and a 4 year old. So yeah, momming is definitely. I keep trying to learn how to crochet, and I'll like pick it up, or I'll like make a little I made my kids these little, oh, I'm blanking on the name now, the little so they're like the tiny little crochet like figures,
Oh, the
or whatever.
little
So like,
wobble things,
yeah, so
the
they're woobles, but
woobles or
there's an
wobbles or
actual
whatever,
name. I don't remember.
something
I'm
like
gonna
that.
get the wrong word. But anyway, so I keep like trying to like learn how to crochet, and I'll make a little thing, and then I just don't do it again for like 6 or 9 months, and then I'm like, I'm gonna learn how to crochet again, and then I do all that. So,
Wasn't
um,
talking to Avery the other day, and I said, I said, usually about the time you acquire all the supplies for said hobby is when you decide you don't want to do it anymore.
it's
You
so
know, it's
true.
like,
It's
oh
so
wait, I don't.
true.
Never mind.
Like, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna do that. And then it's like a year later, and you're like, oh, am I ever gonna
And then your husband
do
goes, "Hey, what are you gonna do with all those beads you bought?" I'm like, "What are you
it?
talking
I'm
about?"
totally gonna use those.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
My
I
daughter might
know.
want them one day.
Right? Like
So yeah.
pass on the not doing the hobby to the next
Mm,
generation.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, are there any genres, or you said you wanted to do more rom-com? So,
I would love to do more rom-com. Yes,
yeah.
I have gotten to do a couple recently, and I love the banter and the quipping and the like, just so fun. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I
Mm-hmm.
would love
Yeah,
to do
they
more
are fun.
rom-com.
They are
Hmm.
fun, and they're good, like little palate cleansers, especially when we like read these like really dark, like or sad or emotional books. It's nice to just kind of, you know, breathe a little with a nice little rom-com.
Right. I remember at one point last year I had, because I do a lot of dark stuff, and I had like a month where it was like back to back every book, every female character got like sexually assaulted or like was like tortured or like, and I just like, I'm pretty good at, like I leave it in the booth, like I'm not really taking that stuff, but it was sort of was like by the
Just a lot.
third and then the fourth, I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this again. It was just like,
Well,
so yeah,
um,
a little bit
yeah,
of
to give a good
levity would
performance
be
though,
good.
you do have to kind of go there. And so, yeah, I mean, that's taxing on you. I mean, even if you're not like taking it in, it's still
It's
emotionally
exhausting.
taxing. Yeah, it's
Yeah. I mean,
exhausting. Yeah.
I'm trying, I'm as much as I can, I'm trying to
You
put
can only
myself
do so
in the
much.
character's, shoes. So yeah, when you have that like kind of over and over, definitely
Hmm.
after a bit, you're like, okay, I need to do something else. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. So what did you want to be when you were a kid?
Oh, this is such a good question. I wanted to be a teacher for
Oh,
most
you
of my
did it. Good
childhood.
job.
I did kind of, yes, in a
Hmm.
different way. And then, so my mom is a special ed teacher, and so I think that was very much. And then once I hit high school, I actually kind of latched on to my the sort of the theater administration education
Hmm.
piece. At that point, I started like doing internships and stuff at
Hmm.
like an art center and a theater, and then I kind of like knew from there what I wanted to do. And
Yeah.
I was like one of those weird people who just like figured it out early and then just did it. And now I'm having my like career pivot
You
kind of a
did. I
thing.
mean, but
Yeah.
I mean, I've talked about us talk about this before, but it's like, isn't it crazy how sometimes it takes us so much longer to find that career because, there's so much expectation on a woman in her 20s and her 30s and it's almost like we almost don't have an opportunity to find those things until we get to our 40s or whatever to like really feel out what we really want to do with the rest of our lives. So,
I like, I'm just kind of putting this together when you said that. Like, in my sort of like personal life, I have felt so much more sort of free from those expectations in my 40s, right? And just sort of a
mhm,
like, I don't fucking care what people think of me anymore. Like,
mhm,
y'all can kiss my ass. And like making this professional switch now, I feel like is very much kind of aligned. And I know so many
yeah.
people, I think, in this age group right now who are making like really big career pivots or shifts or like to second career, third career stuff. And I highly recommend
I feel
5 out of
like,
5 stars.
it's
It's
like
great.
the opposite. So, women in general that are younger than us are waiting to have kids. They're getting that career
Hmm.
going before they do that. And then they, focus on their family and whatever. Well, we had to do it the opposite way, for whatever reason, because we
Yeah.
chose to. But honestly, because that was what was expected or what we thought was the way to do it.
Yeah.
Um, and so now we kind of do that backwards. Like our 40s are like our 20s, It's
Now
like,
we're going to explore and like
yeah,
do what we want
yeah.
to do for
I
fun.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So I feel like
That's
it's
so
kind
true.
of like we're just kind of not like regressing, but like, doing that stuff
Hmm.
that we didn't get to do.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question? How did you get into this? Like, how long have you been doing your
You
content
want
creator thing and how did you get into it?
Um, so I started my Bookstagram about a year ago, or a little
Okay.
over a year ago, in January of last year, and I just did it because I had read like 200 books the year before, and I was
Yep.
like, I just wanted to share it, with people because nobody, like my husband's a big reader, but he's a big fantasy reader, and
Hmm.
so we don't really read the same books a lot of times. We will, occasionally kind of cross over, but for the most part, we don't read the same books and none of my friends are really big romance readers. And so I just didn't really have anybody to talk to about it. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to talk to strangers about it.
Yes.
you know?
I'm going to make new
So,
friends.
yeah. So, and I just loved the community so much. I immediately jumped in with all not 10 toes and,
Love it.
joined a bunch of street teams and read way too many arcs and,
Hmm.
just burn myself out big time.
Yeah.
I think last May I ended up with like 20 arcs for that month, and I was like, this is I gotta
Ooh.
whoop, nope, yeah, I gotta stop.
Yeah. Too much.
So I
Too
started to
much.
slow down, and I had one of the PR companies that had reached out to me and was like, hey, would you mind doing an interview with an indie author? And I was like, no, I'd love to do that,
Mm-hmm.
do a live or whatever. And I did about 3 or 4 of those last year, and I loved it. Like, it was so fun, and I just like meeting people and talk to people, and just gabbing or whatever. But I didn't like talking to people about things that I wasn't knowledgeable about.
Mm.
Like if they're like these were like really like baby authors, and I would read their book before I would talk to them, obviously, but then I didn't feel like I really knew their experience very well, or knew how to really connect with them as well as, like, say, you guys, because I love audiobooks so much, and it's just kind of like my thing, and so I have that love for it, and I feel
Yeah.
like it just makes it easier for me.
Yeah. That makes
And
sense.
also I just I would scroll on TikTok, and I would see people, like Stephanie or like Harlow, and just grinding and, going every day. And I just was like, there's got to be a way to get these people seen,
Mm.
by
I love
authors. Do you know
that.
what I mean? And
Yeah.
so many indie authors are want to do audiobooks. They want to have their books in audio because audio just is blowing up anyway. I mean, it's,
Right.
so much more popular now, and I love that so many indie authors are getting an opportunity to have their books in audio, because
Yep.
it's just all it does is it's better for the whole community in general. It just brings
Yes, less
more people
gatekeeping,
in.
more
Yes.
indie publishing. I don't know if I'm allowed to actually say this, but I heard from, I don't, probably shouldn't say who I heard, a very reputable source that one of the big wigs at Amazon said in 2025, for the first time, they paid more to indie authors than trad authors. So I
As
was
they
like,
should. As they should.
yes, this
And I love
has
that. Like, I
returned.
love that. But I also recognize that there are so many challenges with being an indie author, and one of those is just finding the time to do stuff like, I don't know, researching what narrator you want to use. So,
Totally.
any way that I can bring people to the forefront to be seen,
Hmm.
that's what I want to do.
I love that. Well, you're very good at it. This is
Oh,
like
thank you.
you're
So
clearly have found your
I started
niche.
this show February.
Okay. All right.
So,
Look at you go. You're like
a
booked. I saw your schedule. You're like
little bit.
hustling, girl. Getting it. I love
I
it.
am hustling. I'm in a
Good for
lot of
you.
folks' DMs. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, that's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. So
I
good for
made a.
you.
I'm not someone who normally would do that, so it is very much something that I am very nervous about, but I do it
Hmm.
anyway. I like told myself, I was like, this is the year of doing the things that scare me, and
Good for
so
you.
that's what I'm doing.
Cheers. If I had a glass, I would raise it to you because I
Diet
love
Coke.
that. Yay.
So yeah, and
Amazing.
but yeah, I enjoy it. I just, it's fun. I like talking
Yeah.
to people, and it's like I was telling someone the other day. I was like, you guys are like my celebrities. I don't watch that much TV. I don't go to the movies. Like, I listen to books pretty much all day, every day.
Yeah.
And so what else am I doing? And there's Lauren. Hi,
Right.
Lauren. So yeah, I just love the community, and that's the other thing. I fell
Yeah.
in love with the community. You guys are so supportive of each other, and it really is. You just kind of want to be like in it, like you want to be a part of it, like,
Yeah.
just hold me.
It's so nice. It really is. And I think it's just, yeah, it's indicative again of like a female dominated space and like everybody just really like
Exactly.
we're all just like fangirling all of each other all the time. And like
Hmm.
what's better than that?
And we all know how to get
So
shit done. That's the other thing.
it's so true. It's so true. Like why are we not running the world? We just anyway,
Because
I
they
know
won't
why,
let
but
us.
I know why. That was a silly question, but we should be running the world,
We
clearly.
should be. You're right.
Bitches get shit done.
That's right. Well, okay. Now that we have talked about me far too much,
No, I did ask. I wanted to know.
no, I appreciate it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm one of those people that's like, don't talk about me.
I'm asking the questions
I know.
here,
It's like,
sir,
it's okay.
madam.
It's like nobody wants to hear that. Um, so do you have any like, well, I mean, you're about to work with Kate Stewart, but do you have any like authors that are just like pinnacle authors that you would love to work for,
Oh man.
or even narrators that you would like that you haven't had a chance to work with yet that you would like to work with?
Oh man, so many. I mean, narrators that I want to work with. I mean, I would love to work with any of my female colleagues. I think that's one of the sort of like bummers about doing romance
Yeah, she's going
is
to be
that
in
yeah,
Birds of a Feather, Stephanie. Birds of a Feather in
yeah,
May. Kate
I'm
Stewart.
the main girl
She's the
in Birds
main
of a Feather.
lady.
Yeah, Larissa DeChico. Y'all are gonna maybe hate her, but by the end you'll love her. So it's so yeah. I mean, because I read so much romance. There's so many authors. I mean, like uh, I know she's polarizing. I love Kristen Ashley. Like I know people like they either love her or hate her. I love her still. So I would love to do a Kristen Ashley book
You're allowed.
sometime. Thank you. I mean, there are so many great. I There's so many authors that I love, but who also like have their people,
They're
like their
people.
like set narrators and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also
Yeah.
like you never want to like try and step on anybody's shoes,
Right.
anybody's toes. But yeah, and then narrators, I mean, I have so many narrators that I admire and like, really working together is maybe not going to happen, but like Andy Arndt has always been like a huge like role model for me. And
Mm-hmm.
I just if I was gonna like base my career, try to like model my career on anyone, I think it would be Andy because she does so much romance still, and like I
Mm-hmm.
always want to like majority do romance, but some of the other
Yes.
genres that she also narrates are ones that I really like as well. So like doing some thriller or doing
Mm-hmm.
like women's fiction. Like Andy does these great like historical sort of like women's history books that I love too. So like I love her. I love Xe Sands. She's one of my favorite narrators. Saskia Marlevand. Like there's so many. So yeah, and then all the romance ladies too. Yeah, I really prefer as a listener to listen to female narrators. So that's mostly
Yeah,
who I
I
do.
say this all the time, but there are some female narrators like man voice,
Mm-hmm.
like whoa. Better than
Yes,
the real thing.
I agree. And can I go on a little rant? I'm sorry. I feel like I'm going off on all these little diatribes, but
Girl,
okay.
go on it.
So I was recently, like people feel very strongly about like duet versus dual, and everybody has their preference. I will never yuck anyone's yum. Like what you like 100%.
Right.
But I have seen people say they won't even listen to dual or solo. And
Yes.
that makes me so sad because, and what I see most often given as the reason is that they don't like male narrators who do like high pitched or falsetto female character voices. And I
Hey,
love
Myra.
my dudes, like male narrators, but like, step it up, guys. Like, do you know
I agree.
how female romance narrators have to be good at doing male voices?
They could do
Have
better.
to,
They
or
could do
we would
better.
never get hired. So, like, dudes, come on, that's your job. Like, if a whole bunch of people are saying they're not even going to listen to like a type of audiobook because like you can't do your female voice as well, like, my guys, what are you doing? Come on, I love you, but get it together. So anyway, that's my rant. Is
Like
why are we not
I
holding male narrators accountable? Like,
like even if you
come
have a
on.
deep even if you have
Oh,
a
thank you.
deep voice, that's it. Even if you have like a really deep voice, like you can like just turn
There's
yourself into Angelina. Like that's it's not that, quit making us sound
okay,
like
well,
little
like
kids.
think about like
Amen, Lord.
we are not little kids,
We are
right?
not
We're
little
like
kids.
prepubescent, yeah, like
Yeah,
teenagers.
women
But okay,
can
I
have
think of
deep, sultry voices.
yes. So like I think of like, okay, you know who has great female voices? Jason Clark. Jason Clark has a deep bass spirit. Connor
Does.
Crace can do a lovely female voice. Aiden Snow, like these guys who have
It's
very,
true.
very deep bass voices are perfectly capable of doing lovely female voices.
You have to put in a
Many
little
different
effort.
types of all this. So anyway, so that's my rant. Like my dudes, come
You're
on.
not
It's
wrong.
already harder for us. Like the least you can do is get a passable female voice.
And
Like
let's not forget the fact that even in those situations, the female is still doing the majority of the book. Because
Mm-hmm.
even in a dual POV, the female chapters are always going to be more than the male chapters.
Almost always.
I
Yep.
mean,
and we're probably getting paid less, and we have to fight harder to get the job. So, like, come on, guys. Come on. I
we're
love
not
you,
even
but
going to go there.
get your shit together, my dudes. With
Yeah,
all the love in the
a
world.
little effort goes a long way.
Like, we are busting our asses.
I also feel like they psych themselves out a little bit too. I think they try a little too hard.
That might be.
Because, and I think if they would just like either call their wives in or their girlfriends and just be like, "Hey, how does this sound?" And they would be like, "No, no,
honey,
just stop,
no.
honey, no.
What are you doing, sweetie, sweetheart?
Let me help you out with that." You know,
but just like yeah.
I agree.
It's one of those things that makes me crazy. So I will defend dual and solo narration.
I love dual narration
because they can be so good, so good.
And I guess part of that is because like I was listening to audiobooks before, before there were, duets and full cast narrations and that kind of stuff. And there was really, you didn't have a choice. But, and obviously I love duet. I love getting to hear different voices for different characters and multicast and all that. There you go, Stephanie. That's right. See, girls putting in the work. Putting in the work.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
Because, and that's the other thing, because it is so much harder for you to, as a woman, to get traction in this industry than a man. And that's just in general. So you have to work twice as hard. Yeah.
Anyway. There are so many more.
We could go on.
Narrators, than males, and just
there are so many more. But there's also plenty of books for everyone. So you just have to get out there and get seen, and that's the hard part. Once you find your clique and your people, like I think people, will find their kind of niche with things, but it takes a while to get that. Yeah, Maxine and Samantha and they all have great male voices.
Amy Hall has a fantastic
Amy has a great male voice.
Oh my god, I will have sex with Amy Hall's mask voice in a second.
So does and it's so like contradictory to her voice, but Vanessa Moyen has a great male voice.
Oh, I don't know if I've heard her.
Have you ever heard her do one of Tessa Hale's shifter romances?
No.
So she does a lot for Ava Chase too. She does a lot of White Shoes, so that's probably why I know her, because I love White Shoes. But
and then we have to have 3 male voices in our repertoire, or more. Sorry, I'm getting on my
girl. No, you go, bring it. I love it. So, because it's usually me. I'm glad somebody's finally on my level with this, because it's usually just me on my soapbox. I'm loving that.
Rant all day long.
But yeah, so I think female voices in in those dual narrations are just so good sometimes. Like seriously, so good. But yeah, I don't know. I just step it up.
Yeah.
Just try a little harder.
Just a little. It doesn't even have to just 20% harder would be great. If a whole category of audiobooks wouldn't be disregarded because
because of your sorry ass. Just like everything else, just bringing it down.
Not all. Hashtag not all male narrators.
Hashtag not all.
Enough male narrators, apparently.
Yeah. But I also would like to say that I do think that even in those situations where a male narrator may not have the best female voice, those books are still enjoyable and you can still get through it. They're still worth the listen. Just give it a shot. You'll get used to it.
So many good books, narrated
you'll get
in dual
used to
and
it.
Solo. It just makes me sad to hear anybody say I will never listen to this, or I will never. Just absolutes like that are just.
And the one trend I will say that I am loving is seeing more multiple females in multicast narrations. So that's something that I love, because you guys never get to work together hardly.
I know, never.
Unless it's some sapphic romance.
Sapphic, a little bit, but usually they'll just have like one female narrator who'll do both voices because that's what we can do. But I will tell you, I recently did under my real name. Obviously, this is a pseudonym, but I just did a thriller, and it was like a girls' trip thriller, and so it was like multi POV, and it
Oh, I
was
love that.
dual, but it was for women. And can I just tell you, I feel like this has turned into a little bit of like man bashing. I'm not trying to do it, but like it
No,
was
you're right.
the easiest, most like diligent like communication. Every email that the producer sent, we all immediately responded to, and like all of the character voices and samples were in like the week before they needed to. Like it was the best collaboration. I was like, can I just work with women on every book that I do ever? Like it
So
was so great.
funny because I was talking to Avery Karras
Let's do it, Stephanie.
Wednesday, and oh, come on, yes. Um, and we were talking about, the whole, I don't know if you heard the whole Ray Porter thing where he like cold read Project Hail
Oh
Mary.
yeah, I saw that in an interview where he said he didn't
Yeah,
read it
crazy.
beforehand. I know. I was
And
like,
so
yeah.
I guess she said there's been this like conversation now about prepping and like how much you need to prep and that kind of stuff. And she's like, no, you all still need to prep. Please stop. You're not
Do
all Ray
not let,
Porter.
right? Yes, only Ray Porter is allowed
Only
to do
Ray
that.
Porter,
Maybe
not you.
Scott Brick. Like,
Yes,
no,
not you.
not you.
Not
It's so
you,
true. It's
sir,
so
who just
true.
started narrating. No,
On your fourth book,
no,
like, you
sir.
still need to prep,
You need to
please.
read. That was so funny.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was
That's such a
cracking up
good
when she said
point.
that. I was like, because I read that, because of course, as someone who's not in your same, genre, I would go, oh, that's so cool. And I did. The first time I saw that story, I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. And it is amazing. But not thinking about it from your point of view, where it's like, can we not encourage that behavior, please?
Right. Let's keep that again inside thought. Maybe
It's
let's not tell all the male
maybe not.
narrators
Yeah,
that
exactly.
think they're Ray Porter that they could
Cracked me
do that.
up. I was like, I never would have even thought about that.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Uh,
Yeah. Oh.
so, what is something that you think people would be surprised to know about you?
Oh my gosh, this one's hard. I don't really what would people be surprised to know about me? I'm trying to think of like anything. I'm so boring and uninteresting. There's like really
No.
nothing. There's nothing fun or exciting about me.
Right,
Um,
Stephanie?
I sang with I'm a singer and I sang with an all-female a cappella group in college and it was called On a Different Note and it was
That is very
delightfully
surprising.
fun.
Good job. You did it.
There you go. It was not quite like Pitch Perfect, but yeah, it was in that vein. So
Oh my God,
that's
that
pretty
just
fun.
made me so happy.
Yeah, it was
Just
really
seeing
fun.
Chloe doing cups,
Basically, we wore like black on top, denim on the bottom. It was like a whole thing. We were,
Yeah, I love
yeah,
it.
real
I love it.
classy. Hmm.
Love it. That's my favorite. So we've kind of touched on this a little bit, but I like to ask everyone like social media right now is such a big part of this job. It is
Yeah,
just become such a huge, almost like a requirement to have a social media presence. And there are good things and bad things about that. Obviously,
yeah,
we've talked about some of them. The good things are that you do have, more access to indie authors and people who you may not have access to otherwise. Bad things is, people can access
everything.
you. People can
Hmm.
access you, not just you access them. So
Yeah,
I know that you don't really do a lot of, live reading and things like that, but I know a lot of newer narrators do. Like, how do you feel about that whole process, and do you feel like it's good for the industry? What's your take on that?
yeah. I am trying to do more live. So recording live. I've been on a stretch here of a couple books that I aren't like public yet, so I can't it would be too obvious what they are.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping I've got at least a couple coming up soon that are already like out, so I'm
Cool.
hoping I can do. So anyway, so if you ever do see you on live, come say hi. So I have such a love-hate relationship with social
Same.
media. I think everybody does, right? Like I for a really long time just like barely did any, so like I wasn't even like posting that often. I just was not on it. And I've
Mhm.
been making a concerted effort to try and like be more present, because the parts of it that I love are like connecting with, with
Yeah,
readers and fans and
right.
and authors too. Somewhat I still am like, still like have such a not even like a real following. Like it's so small, but I like that part of it. I like being able to
It's
like
about to grow,
connect with
just so you
folks.
know.
I know, I'm trying to get ready for that. So I
Get
actually did need to
ready.
hire somebody to help me with social media, because I think it's an important tool for business, and now that this is like my full-time business, I'm trying to really approach it as such. I have been lucky. I have not gotten, I know like other people get like inappropriate stuff, and again, knock on, this is not an invitation, but like, I have not gotten any like
Don't break the
weird
streak.
or inappropriate, right? Like, but so for me, it's really just about like, I sometimes social media comes across as super like performative to me, and like I feel performative, and like sometimes I like see things, I'm like, oh gosh, is that real? Like I know I can't
Yeah.
tell, kind of a thing. And I just, for me, like authenticity and like connection is so important, but like in a really like real way. Like I like stuff like this. I love, like, we did one, if Lacey's still here, like we did a live for her for A Vink and
I know, I
Alchemy.
saw it. It was
It
so
was
good.
so fun, and like that's the stuff that I love. So like those
Hmm.
connections, if it all leads to like this kind of thing where I actually get to have a real conversation and like, rant and talk about romance with you, like that is worth all of the headache of like, oh, how
Yeah,
much engagement did this post get, and like, are people like commenting and all that? Because that's the part that stresses me out, because it's like I just want to
it's a
like connect to
slog.
people and make friends, and like it's so much more than that. But
It's
those
a
are very
double-edged
convoluted.
sword because no, it's not. Because, do I want to do all those things? Do I want to care about engagement? Absolutely not. But if I don't, nobody's going to watch this. And it's like,
Right.
then I'm doing all this for nothing, kind of. And so it's like I have to do at least some of it. I I had to face the fact the other day. This is really kind of a funny thing. So I had to face the fact the other day that I've done the research. I keep looking at it, and I cannot prove myself wrong that if I do a post without a picture of me on it, nobody likes it.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think
I'm
you're
like,
right.
I don't want to put a picture of myself on every post that I do, but no one pays any attention if I don't. And so
Yep.
I hate that, hate it, because I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be taking pictures of myself all the time. But at the
Same.
same time, it's like, I mean, if my goal truly is to do the things that I say that they are, which is to keep people's names out there, get the word out about things, then I have to somewhat, you know, submit to that contract of social media and
Yeah.
put myself out there and get people to watch. So yeah,
I know.
it's
It's so
it's
hard. It's
good
like
and
such a
bad, good
trade-off,
and bad.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I
So
feel you.
yeah, I hate it.
Necessary evil, but also like
Exactly.
some great things come out of it too. So like,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I guess.
So I have a feeling that this is probably something that's going to be in your future, but have you done or are you scheduled to do any appearances or cons or anything like that?
Yes. Oh, I was actually, you just reminded me, I was supposed to post about that today. Whoops.
Oopsie.
Speaking of social media, failing at it. But yeah, I'm only got three events, I think, scheduled for this year so far. So not a super crazy year. May end up with like one or two more. But yes, what am I doing? I'm doing Raven Spicy Reads in San Diego at the end
Ooh,
of June. That will be really fun because I'm in Connecticut, so I'm going to fly all the way across the country for that.
nice.
Yeah, so that'll be great. And then we have a little Connecticut con here called Romanticon that I've done for a couple of
Mm.
years now. That's lovely. So I'm doing that at the end of July. And then there's a great, I've done one of their events before, and I'm doing another one, Kiss and Tail. They were formerly, I forget what they were. They just changed their name to Kiss and Tail now. No, they used to be, oh, it was Kiss and Tail. Now it's Fictional Years. Sorry. Okay. Get my shit
Lexi
straight. Sorry.
Lexi said she can't wait to see you at Spicy Reads.
Yay, Spicy Reads. Can I hug you? I hope. That would be awesome. So, yeah, and that's in October. That's like a really small event, which is great. It's more like sort of a cocktail hour. So I'll
Oh,
do
that's
that.
cool.
Yeah, it's really fun. I definitely recommend Fictionally Yours. They alternate back and forth between Philly and Hartford. It's
Oh,
Nikki Castle. It's like her series of events that she does. So
Oh,
yeah, and Stephanie is doing Romanticon as well. Yes, yay, hugs. So yeah, so I'll be out and about a little bit, and I am a hugger. Fair warning. So I mean, only with consent, I ask, but
yeah,
I
me
want to
too.
hug and talk. Yeah.
I'm a I'm a
Sometimes.
big hugger. Like I will take your breath away. It's bad. I'm
Love
very
it.
yeah, I don't know. And it's weird too because I don't know. I'm very awkward about certain people and certain things, but like if I really like you, I will like literally squeeze you
Like
to
latch on,
death.
just like locked.
Yes.
Love it. Good. Well,
Yes.
maybe someday we can lock into a squeaky
Someday.
hug
Like I
together.
said,
That would
I
be
have a
awesome.
feeling you're going to be a little bit more in demand here coming up pretty soon. So, yeah.
I just hope I hope people are into it and love it as much as I do. So
Well,
yeah.
it's a huge book.
Yeah.
So, there's going to be both sides of
I
it.
know. I
And
know. I am
you
prepared.
just have to be prepared for that. But I think overwhelmingly people love this series so much. I mean, I can't see it being a bad thing. So,
I mean, I will just say, like, I poured my heart and soul into that performance. So if people don't like it, then that's totally fair. But like, I would
good.
not change anything about, like, I wouldn't do anything differently. So I kind of
That's
like,
what's important.
I left it all out there, and it may not be for everybody, but that's how I
I'm sure
loved
it's going to be
Marissa and
great.
Tyler, and like, I really did kind of pour my blood, sweat, and tears into it. So
And I've
lots of
heard that
lots of tears.
also Kate, I've heard that Kate is pretty picky about things too. Like she actually like does like like listen and like
Oh
really like
yes.
give
Oh yes,
notes and
she
stuff.
does.
Grayson
Yes,
told me
she
that when I
does.
talked to him. Yeah. And so, I mean,
Which she should. I mean, this is her baby, and
absolutely. No, no.
some authors, like, I get it, like, are not audio people, and they just don't really like
Mhm.
care, and
Yeah.
that's totally respect. Like, their baby is the book, and like, I
Right.
get that. But she is clearly an author who like feels very, very deeply about
As
her
she
audio and
should
her narrators and how things sound and all of that. And so, like, yeah, as she should. Like, this is how
because
she's
her
gotten
audio
to
is
be
huge. I
where
mean,
she is, right? Is
her audio
all
is a
that. So,
huge part of the success of the books and so
mm-hmm.
that shows obviously.
So we did, I want to say, 3 or 4 rounds of pickups for her. And like, so, I mean, yeah, this is her. I, I hope, again, I don't want to speak for her, but I believe this will be the audio that she wanted by the end of it. Like,
That's
it
what I
is
was going to say.
very
So if
much what
somebody
she
has a
wanted.
problem with
So,
it, you just say, well, you know what, Kate
like,
Stewart
talk
said
to
it was
Kate.
fine,
Kate gave me
so
her stamp of approval. So,
send your
talk to
send
the
your
boss.
letters to Kate.
Yeah, she's been so lovely, and I just am like obviously such a fan of hers. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's gonna be.
she's such a
I'm
good.
just yeah excited
I,
to have it out there.
there are very few people who can create a world, like you said, world building earlier. And it's like most of the time when you talk about world building, you're really only talking about fantasy, epic fantasy,
Right.
romantasy. But this woman has really built a whole world out of these characters, and it's that doesn't happen very often, you know. So I
No, and
mean,
it's so detailed and like with so much love and care for these characters, and like, yeah,
and you can tell
it's pretty amazing.
she like knew where she was going from word one, you know.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally. It's so like her mind. I can only imagine the like whiteboards with like string across in her brain to like make all of these
Right.
things come together.
For
It's
sure.
so I'm in
That
awe of
meme
that.
of like Charlie with the string on the,
Yes,
it's like,
that
yeah,
must be what the inside of her brain is like, because it's just like, yeah, it's incredible.
for
So
sure,
yeah,
for sure.
it's pretty exciting.
Chloe, I love talking to you so much. Okay,
Cute.
are you ready for your speed round?
Oh yes, okay. You did warn me about this.
I
I'll try.
did. Okay,
Okay.
now listen, I will tell you, I will caveat you just like I do everyone else. My speed rounds are anything but speedy. So take your time,
Okay. Good
answer
to know.
however you want to, because I yap, and so it never ends up, it's usually really long. So don't worry about
Okay.
it.
I won't get kicked off if I
No
take more than like
pressure.
5 seconds.
No
Okay.
pressure.
Whew,
Okay.
thank you.
All right, everybody
Ready.
ready? Okay.
Yep.
Favorite color?
Hit me. Purple.
Me too.
Yay! the best color.
Best color. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Talk or text?
Text. Yeah, definitely.
Dogs or cats?
Cats, but only by a small
By a
margin. I
hair.
also love
Same.
dogs. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're soulmates.
We're like besties. I know. This is amazing.
Cake or pie?
Oh, cake. Pie is, ugh, throw it out the window. Cake,
No.
always, forever. Fruit should not be hot. Okay, sorry. Continue.
Oh my God. I say that all the time.
Fruit should not be hot.
Fruit should not be
I
hot.
want hot fruit. I just don't want it.
I don't want hot. Normally, I don't want hot desserts in general. I definitely don't want hot fruit.
Yes.
Like hot
And it's
chocolate
like
sometimes.
mm-hmm.
Like
Okay.
sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But hot fruit, no, sir.
No, fruit should not be hot. Don't do it.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah, agreed.
I agree. Yeah. All right. Song you are currently obsessed with.
Oh man, I love this British singer-songwriter Miles Smith. I am just
M.Y.?
Yep, M-Y-L-E-S, Miles Smith. He's so great. So a couple of his that I really love, but he has this song River, and I just like that's my like seed song that I just like listen to every morning for the radio, and he's just highly recommend everybody check him out. If you
I know I have at least one of his songs on my playlist.
He's like a big social media. I think like he does a lot on TikTok. But if you like sad boys with guitars, which is one of my all-time favorite genres, he's really good. Yeah,
I love it. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite candy?
Starburst. Starburst
good
or
one.
Skittles? Maybe Starburst. Yeah, something fruity and chewy.
I was gonna say Skittles.
Yes. See,
okay. Favorite booth beverage?
Ooh, I always have a big cup of water, but my tea, I'm like obsessed with tea. I drink like 3 or 4 or more cups of tea a day. So
a lot of people do. Yeah. Everybody's tea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like my cinnamon tea in the morning, and then I change throughout the day. So yeah, tea for sure.
So it's not just tea, it's different teas.
Different teas, different flavors of tea. Yes.
Yeah.
Different teas. Mm-hmm.
That counts. Go-to karaoke song?
Tie between Like a Prayer or Love Shack.
Ooh.
Because I want everybody singing with me. That's my preferred way of doing karaoke is I want everybody shouting at me.
Like a Prayer is really having a moment right now with Heated Rivalry. So.
Oh my gosh, that's right, with the Connor Story video. Those sweet babies. I know. It's
Like a Prayer is in its moment right now. So okay. Last question. What is a word or phrase that always trips you up in the booth?
Oh my God. Anytime anybody grasps or gasps or texted like with another heart, like texted dad or like texted something, my tongue just doesn't ever work like that. Yeah.
Too much. Get everyone says grasped. Yeah. I haven't, text is one I haven't heard, but it's S's and T's. Everyone has S's and T's.
There's just not enough space in my mouth for my tongue to make those sounds. And so, yeah.
Well, and I mean, is there a word that like you look at and you always say it wrong?
Ooh, I get tagged on this all the time from editors, and I don't understand how I'm saying it wrong, but the word unnerved, UNNERVED, unnerved. I say it like that. And I have had multiple editors come back to me and say, you're saying it wrong. And so I listen to the pronunciation and I don't understand. So apparently I just don't know how to say the word unnerved.
Maybe you need to say it more like unnerved, like really enunciate the ends.
It like unnerved.
Unnerved. But yeah, that's a strange.
I can't do it right. Unnerved, but then like is it I think one word, it's not 2 words, so like, I don't know.
But I think it's like that's what they want you to do is pronounce it like it's 2 words. Unnerved. Yeah, exactly. Like
that sounds ridiculous. Nobody says that in real life. But
I think because they know people, whenever we're listening to books, we're not always paying attention, and so words that kind of flow like that don't really. Like, I think those are the kind of words that we miss, you know?
Yeah. Well, if you ever hear me say unnerved
Just
incorrectly in an
know that I'm
audiobook,
saying it wrong.
I acknowledge it. Apparently, I just can't do it. So sorry to whoever
Everyone,
invented that word.
that's one of the reasons why I always ask that question because it's so funny because everyone has that one thing. It's just like, oh, I can never apparently say this
Something.
word right, you know?
Right? Or like just words that you've like pronounced one way your whole life and then all of a
Hmm.
sudden you found out. Like I used to say, I've fixed it now, but I used to say like mischievous, but apparently mischievous is actually the like correct pronunciation.
Yeah, I guess.
I know, right? I'm like,
Eh,
okay, well, you
whatever.
want to be wrong, but whatever. Yeah, I know.
That's so funny.
I get
Well,
snooty about it.
yeah. I mean, I get
It's
it. It's the English language, but you know,
okay.
my husband always complains because so many people, and I do notice this, in like, especially like in a lot of fantasy books, they'll say wind instead of wind because it's spelled the same. And so,
But wouldn't
like,
you be able to tell from context if it was
you
wine?
should, but a lot of people
Oh,
don't. And
you didn't do
so,
your prep right. It's probably a bunch of male narrators.
but I have heard it a lot, girl, and
Sorry, guys.
it is because all that he listens to is mostly male narrators. So,
Hmm.
yeah, but yeah, so,
Just in case.
mm, I've heard it,
Yep.
but it is a thing, and I guess, yeah, it's just a deal of not prepping. Yeah, you're right.
I
That's what I
mean,
need. That's what I need to tell him. But he's like, well, the people that I guess, listen or, produce them or whatever should catch that and make them fix it. And I was like, yeah,
they
they
should.
probably should. But,
The
that's
QCer should fix
however
that,
many
yes.
words, in a book. And, they're going to miss some stuff. So,
Yeah. It's true, especially
anyway,
the like, your 17 to 27 hour like
which
fantasies. Like,
is
yeah,
all fantasy. Yeah. It's all, yeah,
there's
so
going to be a
long.
few words that skip through there. Yeah.
How do you know how long Birds of a Feather is going to be? I bet it's going to be long.
Oh man, I got all the run times broken down. My part alone was 14 hours.
Oh my
And I think
God.
Grayson, I know. And I think Grayson was around 12 or 12 and a half, and then the other guys. So it's probably gonna be like 25 question mark, 24, 25. Anyway, oh my God, we should do like a Vegas betting pool on what the total run time, if that's gonna be like an over under. My husband would be all over that. So,
So the
yeah, so
longest,
probably like 25-ish.
I think the longest book I've listened to, just a singular
27,
book,
maybe.
was Entwined, and that was the one that I talked to Avery about the other day. That was over 30.
That
So, yeah.
Rebecca Quinn, but the
Yes.
bastards.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I love that series. Oh, so good.
I've read the first two. I have not finished it yet,
Oh,
and I didn't
so
listen.
good.
I read them, so
You should
I should go
listen.
listen. I know. I have
They're
heard that from many people. So
amazing. Some of the
yeah,
best audio I've ever, yeah, some of the
yeah.
best.
I know.
They're like my
I should
God
do
tier
that.
audios. I
I'm
love
trying to
them.
get through, not because it's amazing, but I just haven't had the time. I'm still like weeks later, Shield of Sparrows, because that's like
Oh, I've
19
heard
hours, and I
that's
just
really
haven't.
good.
Oh my God. Speaking of like single, so it's basically, I mean, Jason Clark comes in for a chapter at the end, but it's basically solo narration for
Hmm.
Samantha. And it's a masterclass.
She's
She's so good. Speaking of great male, females who do great mask voices, like, anyway, but I've had to borrow it like 3 times from the library because I just haven't had the time, but it's like 19 hours. So I need
yeah, it's
something
long.
short after that,
Yeah.
but yeah, you know,
Yeah. I feel you. I mean, I feel like sometimes I'm drowning in audiobooks because
I'm
I
sure.
I started doing this, so I was already like, and I was already doing ALCs for a couple of different companies, and then I do content creation for another company, and then I started doing this, and so it's like I sometimes feel like I don't get to
Your
pick any
list must
books.
be,
Yeah, I
yeah,
know.
it's just like so
But
full,
that's
I'm
okay. I
sure.
mean, it's still good. I'm still getting to listen to a ton of books, which is I'm not complaining. Um,
I know. That's like I get to read so many books now to narrate, but also like sometimes I want to read other things that like I'm not narrating and I just want to read for myself, and it's hard to
yeah.
find the time for that. So yeah,
I
I hear you.
It's so funny because last year when I started doing this, it's like you're practically begging people to, send you an arc or send you this or send you that. And now I have so many authors that'll come in my DMs and be like, "Hey, do you want to arc read my book?" And I'm like, I can't eyeball read anything. Like I can't. Like I would
Yeah.
love to, I would love to, but I cannot. And I
Yeah,
I'm one of those people that like I can't commit to things because unless I know I'm going to do them because I would just feel so guilty for not doing it.
that's better though. I mean, I think like
So
that's a better way to be than to
so
like
I'm just
commit and then
like,
like ghost or whatever.
yeah, I'm very it's not you, it's me. you know,
Yeah.
it's not your
I'm
book, it's
just so in
me.
demand. I don't have time to
No,
write a
that's not
book.
it. That's
No,
not
but I
it.
mean, that speaks very highly of like, the work that you're doing, that people
I
are
love
coming to
it.
you and want you
It's
to like,
but
be
it's
part of
I
it.
feel bad. I feel bad when anybody even says that because it's like I love this so much. I'm having so much fun. Like I don't even like I mean, it's like you said, it's like you're doing you love your job, you love going doing your work every day. Yes, it's hard work. Yes, it's time away from this and that, but you still love it. And so it's like
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's fun.
Right. All the good stuff outweighs the, maybe slightly annoying stuff
Definitely.
here and there. For
Definitely.
sure. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Oh, also somebody says Audible says 23 hours. That's wrong. That's just a guesstimate. That's not when the final thing
There's
is.
no
Yeah.
way.
Audible don't know what they're talking about. So just
As
FYI.
usual.
I'm just warning you so when you go to get it and it's like 27 hours, you're not
Yeah, don't be mad at
totally
me.
surprised. I'm telling you now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it'll be good.
Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
don't have any more questions.
Kim,
But
you're
I'm
amazing. This was
but I'm
so
sad.
fun. I know. I anytime you want to get together and rant, whether it's an Instagram live or not, please let me know. I will
If you
happily
ever have
rant with you
if you ever have
anytime.
an opportunity to do any kind of event in Texas, let me know
What?
and
Okay.
I will be there with bells on. And we'll
Okay. I
have
will keep that in
drinks and
mind.
talk shit
Yeah.
about men.
Oh my God, please. I can't wait. Anytime. Yes.
Two of my favorite things to do.
Girl, Sam. Amazing. This
So
was
funny.
so fun, Kim.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you so
And
much
yes,
for
we'll have to do it
agreeing
again
to do
sometime.
this.
Oh my gosh, thank
I tell
you.
everyone, well, I don't take any of this for granted, and I don't take anyone agreeing to speak to me for granted. And I know that you don't know who I am from anybody, and it could have been a complete disaster. And so it
I have
takes a
faith in you.
lot for you guys to put yourselves out there in these situations, and I do recognize that, and I do appreciate it. And so I
Oh,
just want
you're so
to
sweet.
acknowledge that. So
That is
thank you.
lovely. Well, thank you for spotlighting narrators and
I
asking
can't
such great questions and
I
being
can't
so
wait
fun
to
to talk to.
see you do more lives. I'm gonna be watching.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody keep an eye out. Come see me. It's usually just like me and maybe one other person. So yeah, come pop on if you ever see me. It'll be fun. So
Yeah.
yay. This
Thank
was
you so
amazing.
much.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you,
Mwah. Thanks
Chloe.
everybody for sticking
Bye,
around.
everybody. Thanks for watching.
Yay.
Bye.